Yeah. Who wants to hear a story? I know I do. Hey you, sitting there with nothing to do, why don't you come over here and maybe try something new? Yes you, don't waste your time just planting your seeds. Let's partake in FlameAmigo619 reads. You got a pick, he'll read ya, hilarity, he'll feed ya, or maybe deep emotions, whatever the feeling doesn't matter. Either solo or with friends, we're going on a trip to faraway places, or maybe not, just take a tip from me. He does have some standards, they're not far-fetched, it's a stretch, so keep that in mind, don't be a bitch. So kick up your feet, find something comfy to sit in, and enjoy the show. Now let us begin.
So, who likes Happy Tree Friends?
I like Sippy.
Never even heard of them.
Well then, for those that have heard it, you're in for a treat. For those who haven't, Happy Tree Friends is possibly one of the greatest animated online shows of all time. Welcome one and all to episode 16 of FlameAmigo619 Read. What? No, this is episode 16 of FlameAmigo619 Reads. I am your cult of personality, ToonKriticY2K, FlameAmigo619, whatever the fuck you want to call me. We have some lovely individuals tonight, starting off with Jewel.
Hello, I like Flippy.
Will. Sam. Sage.
I shall steal your soul.
No, you won't. Jimmy.
When do I get paid for this again?
Wait, we get paid?
He promised me pay!
Oh yes, I didn't say what I'd pay you in, though.
Now I'm frightened. Legitimately frightened.
Here's some animal cookies. Don't spend it all in one place.
Don't worry, I will.
He pays me in pencil shavings that he pulled out of his ass.
And Joey.
By the way, you say I could call you anything I want. What if I wanted to call you Captain Uncle Shirley Face?
Then I'd have to shoot you.
So, called the personality, what are we reading today?
We are reading More Than 54 Ways to Die, and I am so stupid, I was about to say an Animal Crossing fic. I am so sorry. Yes, this is a Happy Tree Friends
Sure, you can cut
fic.
that out.
And it plays out pretty much like any other episode. There's a bunch of snippets in here. I personally like Happy Tree Friends. It's a great series, I think. Definitely not for kids, even though it's incredibly misleading, and I think that's the gimmick of it.
Why you kill animals?
PETA!
Why do they keep coming back in every other episode?
PETA, the animated series. Anyway, let's get this fic started. This is written by Overmaster, and is description as follows. It's an anthology of short Happy Tree Friends snippets, hopefully as original flavor as possible. You won't find humanizations or sappy, flippy, flaky romances here. No offense, since I'm sure yours is good. Tons of standard Tree Friends hijinks. Happy Tree Friends and all related elements and characters are the property and creations of Mondo Mini-Shows / Mondo Media, and the author of this set of short pieces has made absolutely no material profit from it and never will do. Similarly, all non-Happy Tree Friend characters mentioned here are the properties of their respective copyright holders. Any non-parrot dick, non-totally safe similarity between the characters and events of these mini...
And a whole bunch of other shit nobody reads.
Read review, please, please, please.
Chapter 1. Original Sin.
Giggles looked at the shiny, red, juicy, tempting apple in her hands and took a first big bite out of it. Then the big fat worm living in the apple made its way up Giggle's skull, drilling up and up, making her squirm, choke, and gasp as blood flowed freely out of her nose, mouth, and ears, eventually along small chunks of her gray matter. Finally, she plummeted down at Cuddle's feet, dead. Then God showed up and asked, "Who is here to eat the forbidden fruits of the apple tree?" Holy shit, Cornella was God. Damn straight. Cuddles blinked, then pointed down at the dead body still holding the apple. The ground opened itself up and a large, vomity hellfire swallowed Giggles' corpse whole. Cuddles looked up at God's divine light, smiled and shrugged, then tried to go on his own merry way before becoming a pile of ashes. God sighed.
Oh, Cuddles, I warned you. Don't ever look straight at my light. No more mortal flesh can withstand it. Praise my penis.
Lumpy of 2814.
The ring, take it!
The dying alien murmured weakly. The green ring glowed brightly in his extended hand.
The duty is yours now. Find Parallax. Parallax. And stop him. Find Parallax.
The blue bipedal moose gulped, approaching the crashed ship enough to grab the ring. He put it on and gasped in awe, as it instantly created a green uniform identical to the one Sur had been wearing, and bleeding all over, on Lumpy's own body.
The ring will allow you to create constructs of energy limited only by your own willpower and imagine...
Lumpy had already created a giant pair of scissors that had accidentally severed his own neck.
Well, crap.
Sur said with his last breath.
Someone to remember him by.
Over Cuddle's grave, Giggle dried her tears and looked up. Even if she had lost him, she'd still bear the child who was the sum of them both. Unfortunately, since baby bunnies are larger than baby chipmunks, Giggle's baby was too big for her and killed her from the inside.
Remember, kids, abortions are good!
If only such a thing could happen to Bella.
CSI. Happy Tree Village.
Inspector Lumpy looked at the grisly scene. A mortified Flaky lay in her bed on her stomach, the naked Flippy impaled on her back's quills, slowly bleeding all over. God damn it! Flippy didn't get to kill anyone in this.
Flaky's a girl.
Yeah, that's the little red porcupine.
Yeah, but I always thought he was a boy.
It's an it.
Oh, it's a girl.
Actually, I think the creator said it was a girl. I don't know. Inspector Lumpy looked at Sub-Inspector Cuddles, who was taking quick notes.
And in the spirit of happy tree friends, I shall speak only in their...
Sub-Inspector Cuddles only shrugged his shoulders. Okay.
You aren't Jim Carrey.
Dr. Lumpy looked reverently at the ancient ceremonial mask he had just dug out of the burial site. The inscription said it had... I cannot fucking speak.
You know what? No, okay, repeat after me. The inscriptions. Go on, say it with me. Inscriptions.
The inscription said of miraculous powers far beyond the understanding of any tree friend. Drooling, Dr. Lumpy put it on. The truly miraculous power burned his face, his flesh off, consumed his vital energy, sucked his meat dry into dust, and left him a mummified husk. The mask looked good on him, though.
No matter how you put it.
By then, they were warily savvy enough the risks involved in any game they decided to play, so they decided to put it to voting. Cuddle suggested baseball, but after Lumpy accidentally sent a bat flying and it struck through Sniffle's head, the idea was discarded. Giggles suggested water polo, but after Disco Bear suffered a cramp and drowned, no one else wanted anything to do with the idea. Good, because I fucking hate Disco Bear. Mime suggested golf, but Petunia had suffocated into a sand trap last week, so the idea was rejected. Lifty and Shifty suggested hide-and-go-seek, but after the last 3 times they had used that to steal everyone else's valuables away while they hid, the others just kicked them out. Finally, Flaky suggested a nice, quiet, safe game of Sudoku, and everyone agreed. Some 5 minutes later, somehow, Lumpy had managed to kill everyone else in the game. Heartbroken, he swore never to grab a pencil again.
When you wish upon a star, you die hopelessly, you tard. And anything you ever wish will never come true.
No offense to the people of the R's? I don't fucking know. Okay, it was a very cold winter night. Lumpy saw a shooting star up in the sky and wished for money. After walking a few blocks more, he found a lost wallet full of dollar bills. Giggles saw a shooting star up in the sky and wished for romance. A few minutes later, Cuddles knocked at her door bringing chocolate and flowers. Splendid saw a shooting star up in the sky and wished for a challenge. Seconds later, a giant Hydra monster attacked the town, killing thousands. The mole somehow, somewhat, saw a plummeting satellite up in the sky burning upon re-entry. Mistaking it for a shooting star, he wished for something to keep him warm. The satellite fell on top of the Hydra monster and exploded, creating a huge burst of flames that consumed most of the town. The mole clapped and sat before a fire to warm his paws up. Splendid sighed and sat down next to him to roast marshmallows.
As the old saying goes.
There's 1,000,000 fish in the sea. If you're a tree friend, all these fish are sharks. No good deed goes unpunished. No evil one either if you're a tree friend. Boys will be boys until a truck turns them into red paste. You can't make a cake without breaking a few eggs, and you're head if you're a tree friend. Knowledge is power, but if you're a tree friend, power is only the means to destroy yourself faster.
On the flip side,
After several bloody incidents where his war memories triggered murderous rampages, Flippy, feeling guilty and remorseful, decided putting an end to his own life. The problem was he didn't know how to do it. When he tried to toss himself off a cliff, he flipped right on the edge, remembering how they tossed prisoners into the sea. Then he went for a few innocents and threw them down. When he attempted poisoning himself, the smell of the toxins reminded him of the bio-warfare raising the jungles down. He flipped, took several prisoners, and forced the poison down their throats, glass and all. Trying to drown himself was just as useless. He flashed back to his underwater fights, resurfaced on Russell's boat, and skinned him off. Not even hanging himself worked. When he grabbed a rope, his first instinctive reaction was going to strangle someone else from behind.
wow, for a war general, he really sucks at this.
I know. So, out of options, he decided to consult an expert on the subject. He was a human, pale and lanky, with short black hair and glasses. His voice was elegant and fluid, with a noticeable Japanese accent.
Good afternoon.
He said, crossing his hands over his desk.
I'm Itoshiki Nozumu, and I'm trying to help you with your farewell from this miserable world. But please, let's make this quick. I must cure myself before dinner time.
Yeah, the Japanese are gonna kill you for this.
No offense to Japanese people.
We love Japan!
Come at me, Aneses.
Oh my god, wait!
I really just say
oh my God.
Neesies.
Okay. It didn't go so great.
Pop solution.
Since he never could celebrate Cub's birthday, he celebrated the anniversary of his death instead. Wow, that was short.
A devastating blow.
Giggles held her copy of the final volume of, Mahogany Sensei Najamani in her hand and sniffed. I don't give a shit how it was supposed to be said.
Things between us didn't end the way I expected them to. And now, I'll never see you again. I've got nothing left to live for!
And she jumped to her death. Don't laugh.
Too late!
Well, I'm sorry, but here's how reverse psychology works. If you put "don't laugh," somebody's going to fucking laugh.
Graduation, yeah.
And we're gonna finish this off with the kitty.
And above it all, I want to thank my father.
The young adult cub finished his brief speech. He was lacking both eyes, a leg, an arm, both ears, most teeth, half the fingers of his remaining hand, and even his boy parts under the diapers he still wore, but he was somehow alive.
Make me grow tough and able to survive anything life could throw at me, at my way. I love you, Dad.
Pop sniffled back tears of joy as the crowd in the auditorium applauded. Cub thanked everyone with a nod, then walked down the podium. In the process, his crutch broke down. He tripped, fell down, broke his neck, and died instantly. To be continued.
Next time on Happy Tree Friends.
More people die. The end.
Gee, you think? Ba-doom-ps.
The end. Well, this wasn't too bad.
It was alright.
I thought it was okay.
I mean, it did stick true to Happy Tree Friends. I mean, as a fan of Happy Tree Friends, I thought this fit pretty well. That concludes episode 16. Yes, it is 16 of FlameAmigo619 reads. As always, leave your... Wow, I have not said this at all this season, I think. As hopefully usual, put down your suggestions for fix in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, swag, and all that.
Wag.
Yes.
Swag.
Yes. Swag.
Good night, bitches.
Yeah.
Good
Good night,
night.
every people.
Good night!